Estamos ao vivo? Cadê o vídeo? Estamos ao vivo, velho.
Quer jogar mais 30 minutos aí? E se tiver
Yeah.
algumas perguntas,
Perguntas e tudo isso. É. Should I do a little bit more, like a different angle? Yeah. Who did you?
You want to get something closer for you?
A esposa dela? Não. Pode. Não. Melhor aqui. Lá abaixo. É.
Pode ficar.
Pode. A ver. Oh, desculpa. Que isso?
O problema é sair do meu cabeção. Eu quero sair daqui com $1.000 na mão, que eu entrei. É humilde. Esse é o objetivo. Ele é humilde. No final de semana. Não é nem no dia. A partir de amanhã vai ser aqui.
Mas foi o que você dança falou.
Eu falei.
A gente
Não vem contar que eu falei.
A gente tá aqui.
Não foi
A gente tá no menos 0, menos 2, menos 1.
Não, eu tava nesse assunto.
Agora a gente tá menos
50.
Então.
Eu não entendi nada. Eu não entendi nada. Aí agora eu tô sério. Ó, se esse produto aqui, que ele comprou, por 292, ele vendeu por 290. Aí.
Já corta isso aí pra edição. A outra não corta.
Se ele comprou por 292 e vendeu por 294.
Esse
como é que ele vai ser
47 pra ele.
Essa é verdade.
É boa.
Nossa.
Então, corta o direito.
Obrigado.
Ó. Peraí. Tira o direcional. Aí.
Qual foi a pergunta? Qual foi a sua pergunta?
Se você comprou aqui por 292, você vendeu por 294, como é que você atingiu 147% nas opções?
It's because the options have the expiration dates, right? So depends on if you have an expiration date for the same day. If it goes up the same, let's say the ones that I bought were for the same day. If the ones that for instance, if I were to buy one that ends that same week, then I wouldn't make the same percent as if I were to buy it for the same day. It just varies the quickness, the volatility of that option because of the time expiration.
Maybe I will understand when we practice. Porque na teoria é complicado entender como você falou.
É como aprendendo língua.
Japonês. Mandarim.
Você tem que fazer.
Não tem nada a ver.
É somente para to get you interested in learning, you know? It's gonna take people different times.
Do you want me to try to fix?
Não, tá bom.
Conseguiu?
Agora mesmo. Obrigado.
É ruim, a gente quer falar.
Por que tá azul? Por que a tela tá azul? Não. O microfone é melhor verde, porque fica captando só o fone. Bota lá. Tu botou azul, velho? Foi. Eu logo vi.
Todos um. Não, não vou voltar.
Tu botou lá azul, mas porque a queda na barriga, filho. Eu acho muito maneiro.
Okay. So, let's look at another chart. I just want to show you guys different examples of charts to look for. So then that way you see how one, history repeats itself, and two, how to create your own watch list. Okay? So let's focus on looking at a different chart. Let's go to Dell. Left off at the bull pennant, right? So let's look here now. Let's look at the daily chart. I'm looking at the daily chart for Dell. So now I already added IBM to my watch list, right? Here. We created a watch list for IBM, right? Yeah, I created my notes and then I put it in my chat room. So you guys are getting a free watch list today. And you'll have a free insight of what I'm going to post in the chat later, and then that way you... Okay, so now another chart. Let's see if I can find something different. Okay. Let's go to... All right, so here's a website that I use. It's called stockcharts.com. Okay. Charts with an S. Stockcharts.com. Okay. When I go here, let's go to the home page. Your home page should look something like this, right? Okay. When you go here, go to Chart Tools. Actually, I think it's Scan. Hold on. Chart Tools. Where is it? I have it saved, so I gotta remember where. Let me see. Dashboard.
Click on the address. We can see not only address.
Oh.
On the right, now the other page that you say. Yeah, now go to the address. Yeah. And then
No. SC scan. I'll find it really quick. I think it's market analysis. Let me see. Dashboard, no. Hold on. Let me see. I know it's here somewhere. Plugins. All right. I'll go back and try to look for that, but there's, predefined scans. That's right. So scans and alert. Predefined, okay. So you go to scans and alerts. Okay. And then on here, you go down to predefined alerts. Okay. Now on here, it has a bunch of different alerts and stuff like that. So remember when I was showing the example of IBM and Dell, it had the gap, right?
Yes.
Here, it has, which one did I use? That's bearish. Crosses below. Oversold with the improving RSI. So the one that that you want to look for is this one right here. Oversold with an improving RSI. All exchanges.
Oversold.
Yeah, it says oversold with an improving RSI. Might be able to search it too.
Is it on the same? I guess I got lost. Hold on, so what we get it at? Is it still in the same five alerts?
Please go to the scan and color. To see, no, to see the drop down. The scan and color. I think it's different than mine.
Predefined scans?
Predefined.
Scan and alerts? Predefined alerts. Hold on. It's predefined scans, but it's not on here.
How far down is that oversold? I still don't see it here.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where, because it looks like I had, the one that I have is saved because it's part of my history, or a bookmark, but the only one I see is a predefined alert and not.
I think we don't have the sign up. That's fine.
I didn't sign up either.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find, predefined alerts. No, that's not it. Because this is the one that I have saved.
You know, send the link to us. It's better, doesn't have the link saved, right?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Wilson, pega o link e manda no grupo pra gente. O link que ele vai te mandar aí. Ok. Ele tem 100 horas, então.
okay.
Well, you start charging me.
Yeah, I'll send this link. Okay. Well, let me continue just because of time. So once you open up this, it'll give you examples of charts that are oversold, right? For instance, this one, ARMP. Once you go into here, you click this blue link, which is the name. Then it'll give you this, okay? This chart indicates that it's oversold, meaning the price has gone down for 2 months at a time. And now you see how it's curling up here to go back up. This tells me that since it's curling here, let's see where it happened. It happened right here. It curled up and went up, right? When it started curling up, it was right here and then it went up. So, what does that tell me? That when it's oversold, it's a good time to buy to at least the next resistance, which is up here. And it went from $7 to $14, so almost 100%. Okay? So if I look down here, it's oversold again. This green line right here went, huh? Oh, you're good. Your first price target would be this green line, right? So when it comes up, it'll be at least 535, which is almost $1 jump. or the next line, which is up at $7. So that's a $2 jump. Okay, so you can, and with a improving RSI, I'm predicting that this will go up at least another $1 to $2. That $1 to $2 jump is considered as a trade price target, and you would take advantage of that. Okay? Let's look at another example. No, that was ARMP. So I want to see something real quick.
Aí você tem que ir ali no detalhe, no search lá, scans and ele tem que ter um link salvo. Entendeu? É que eles queriam o link salvo do Leon Dental. Mas não tem que saber. Essa tem que entrar em search pelas vezes que você vai estar na no fora. E lá que foi. Ele fala espanhol também. Não. Só, eu tô cansado. Não, ele é super cansado.
Você fala mais português ou mais inglês no dia a dia?
Depende de quem, com que eu tô.
Em casa.
Em casa é mais português.
Ok.
Eu quero que as crianças aprendam português 100%.
Porque aí eles não, pouco, né? Em casa.
So when you look at stock charts, this indication right here, oversold with improving RSI. This is saying that it's oversold, meaning that it's been having seller pressure, and improving RSI means that this indicator down here is improving, meaning that it's curling up higher. Now, sometimes it could curl up higher like this here and not even go up for 2 months, right? When it went up, it actually crossed this line down here. This one right here. So this also, it is an example of how market conditions are different over time, right? So in these market conditions, this pattern might not work, but it's a tool for when these conditions come back that you can use to find these types of charts again that'll actually work. You know, it can work again in 6 months from now. It can work again in a year from now. This is just adding knowledge of a pattern that works, right? Another pattern that works is the gap fill pattern that I was speaking of, that we used on our example for IBM, right? So how do I look for that pattern? Well, I just type in stocks, honestly. Let's take a look at various stocks, right? This is Microsoft. So if you look at Microsoft, it held support right here, bounced off, and it went up $30, right? This is just for you to understand support again. Just by seeing it, getting repetition, saying, okay, I now see that he's looking at the daily chart over time. This is in April, May, June, we're in July. 3 months later, it fell all the way back down and touched support, right? So sellers aren't allowing, or buyers aren't allowing the price of Microsoft to go under $352 right now. Okay? But we're going to focus on patterns. The first pattern that we use on that first chart was the gap fill pattern, right? that I use on the pages or on my watch list, gap fill pattern, right? Gap here, right? Look what Microsoft did right here. Here's your gap. Here's your gap fill. See how it had a gap? And it filled it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months later. That's how long it took, 5 months. You had your resistance level here. I'm going to mark it in blue. You had your resistance level here. After it broke that resistance level, it filled the gap right here. 472.
Did you feel it all the way? Almost, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Both.
if you look at that, yeah, pretty close. Yeah, off by $5, $6. But the meat of the move was when it broke out of this resistance level here, right? At 436, and it went all the way up to 465. $30. That $30 move is where you make your money. Because you looked back 5 months ago. You could have set an alarm here. See how this was resistance right here? And then this was support. I know it's so many lines. Hold on. There, let's clean it up. See why it's important to draw these lines? So you get an understanding of where it's not going lower and where it's not going higher. Then this middle is your consolidation. See how these patterns are repeating itself? Look, there's Microsoft. Here's Dell, which we already have. Where is it? How much was Dell? Right here. See the consolidation? How it's kind of the same? And let's look at IBM. And the only reason why I'm using those three is because those are the most recent ones we've been talking about. I already have them marked up, so I spend less time on it. But here's the consolidation. When it broke out, it went up. And there was a gap right here that it filled. Right? So now, if I'm looking at Microsoft, then I can say now, if I were to take off all this stuff, more recently, right? My support is here. My resistance is here. Because now you can tell that it tried to break out here, but it couldn't, right? It dropped back down. So now you wait. You wait to see if it drops all the way back down to here, or if it breaks above, looks like 394. This overnight is because the market's open right now. It's futures. Futures only is on Sunday evening. It's preparing for the week, right? So if futures are green, then the whole market's going to gap up on Monday. If the futures are red, then the market's going to gap down on Monday. And in order to see that, I use an app, but you can just type it in. Stock, futures, price. I use investing.com. And here you see what the market is doing. So these, you see how it's moving now? Watch. See the percent changing? Futures are open. Since these indicators, US Tech 100 and S&P 500 VIX will indicate whether the tech sector, QQQ, right? What I was explaining yesterday, which is Google, Amazon, Apple, Nvidia, those types of stocks. If this is saying that it's green Sunday night, then if you look at those stocks, like we did on Microsoft, it's higher than it was when it closed. See the difference? Overnight is purple. That means that the market's open. Red is what it closed at Friday, the last trading day. Okay? So it's already up $1 in this time. Now, technically, that doesn't really mean anything because the market doesn't open until 9:30 in the morning. You know? So I try not to pay attention to that noise because it leads you away from just focusing on your key levels, what your trading plan is for that day or week or whatever. And this is the main part of being successful in your trades while trading is preparation. What you do before the market actually opens. Because if you don't set a watch list before the market opens, then good luck. Because you're just going to be watching numbers go up and down, not knowing what sector to look at, not looking back to seeing, okay, this is a primary entry or an exit or anything like that. You're just going to want to try to make money. And more than likely, you'll probably lose money because you're not prepared. My motto...
I'm sorry. You do this to prepare for yourself for the week and Sunday time?
Yeah. Or Friday after the market closes, depending on what I'm doing, whether I'm flying or I have,
The next week.
yeah.
You do it.
I could do it 4:30 p.m. on Friday if I wanted to,
Okay.
because the market's closed. I can't do anything until Monday at 9:30, you know? So it depends on what I have going on that weekend and stuff like that. Like for now, I'm doing it live with you guys. And then when I leave and go home, I'm going to post it to my chat room.
This is based on New York time.
Yeah, Eastern time. So that's another thing. If you're in Spain, you're 6 hours ahead right now. So at 9:30 is actually 3:30 in Spain. So when I was in Spain a month ago, I would make sure that I would go to the beach or go do my tourist things in the morning time, and then make sure that 3:30 comes around afternoon, I'm in my hotel room, I have my screens open, and I'm ready. You know? So it depends. When I was in Japan last year, it was 12 hours. Oh, 14 hours. 12, 13, 14 hours. So when the market opened at 9:30 a.m., it was 10:30 p.m. in Japan. So I had to adjust. I wouldn't go to bed until like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But I made that sacrifice. It was worth it. The whole day I had to freedom, do whatever I want, you know, go to Mount Fuji, you know, and do that type of things. Those things, you know. So market hours, you want to make sure that you're in front of your computer, ready to go no later than 9 o'clock. Give yourself 30-minute window. If you go to the gym or whatever it is, you can do that before the market opens. Or you can say to yourself, okay, I'm going to set the first 2 hours of market open between 9:30 and 11:30 to do my trades, if you take a trade. And then I'm going to go work out. I'm going to go play golf. I'm going to go do whatever I want to, whatever you need to do that day. And then you don't have to come back until after 2 o'clock. It depends too. Like if you make a good trade that day and you make your percent goal, you can walk away for the rest of the day and have the rest of the day to do whatever. Nobody is forcing you to take another trade. And that's the freedom that you have of trading stocks. So in that downtime, you can study. There's multiple things that you can do, pick up a new hobby, something like that. So let's look at some other things. I'm going to look at Apple because this is another trade that I took last week that actually paid out really good. But I already have too many things open.
Das 9, meia hora antes de abrir o mercado, preparar, abriu 9h30, pau quebrando até 12 horas.
Como fazemos outra vez, né? Juntamos a que hora? Ó, foi mais tarde, né?
1 hora da tarde, acho que não foi.
1 hora da tarde, né? Quando...
Não, foi de 11 horas.
11.
Aí a gente saiu de 1.
É.
A gente vai jogar golfe de 11 horas. Não, aí de 11 horas até 11 horas tem que fazer.
Ok. Ó, mira ali. Encontrei outro agora.
Tem que atingir a meta, né?
Walmart. Estamos lá ontem. Oi.
Walmart, é falando que o cachorro agora outro dia. Vai fazendo pra vocês agora. Isso aí vai estar no chat-room deles. Esse que está fazendo aqui agora, presencialmente, fazendo ao vivo para vocês, vai estar no chat-room deles.
Já está planejando a semana inteira, né?
Isso aí já é a semana dele. Do grupo lá. Tá movimentando. Esse é o quê?
Walmart. Walmart.
Ele é o.
Gap. Olha lá. É?
Porque o bom de opções é que quanto mais subir e descer, melhor. Não é estoque que você compra e você tem que estar valorizando mais ao longo do tempo. Quanto mais volátil para ele, melhor. Ele só tem que entender o padrão aí. Vamos comprar e vender rápido. Qual ação, o jeito de olhar? Eu vou olhar o jeito qual? Se não tiver de lado, fica perto. Eu te dou 3 opções aqui já, irmão.
De cara.
Eu vou seguir. Não, eu estou ensinando. Eu agora estou ensinando um exemplo de gráfico que eu busca, né? Eu talvez somente tenha na minha watchlist. Por quê? Porque este se vê melhor que esse agora, né?
Por quê?
Por quê? Por quê? Já você, because you see how this was here, old support, right? It bounced, but then it failed. It went down lower. Now I don't want to touch it until it gets back above this because I don't know how long it's going to go sideways. So all of this is not it's not going to give me an advantage.
It's just to watch,
Yeah, it's just to watch. So until I'm going to put,
Time for the consolidation, right?
right. And within that time of consolidation, you're probably going to end up losing money because it's just going sideways. It's not predictable, you know? So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my resistance line.
Okay.
And then once it gets above this line,
If this
I'll
one
buy it. I'll buy it when it gets above this line
okay.
because I know that my next target is here at 125, which is $6 more than it is right now. And if it gets above 125, then I know my next target is at 130.
Okay, for that one, for the warm up.
But I'm just giving you examples because I'm not going to add that on my watch list for this week because I know there's better options or opportunities. You know, this is just so you get an understanding and you see the graphs. You see multiple graphs. So then that way it starts training your mind to say, okay, I see a gap here, but I'm going to wait until it gets above resistance. This is helping you understand terminology, but also price action. Okay? So let's keep looking at different graphs. Now, so another one that had a gap.
É o service now. É o now é o ticker, né? É só a abreviação. É o service now. É o
É um negócio. É. So this is the stock name, and this is called a ticker name. TICKR. I've been in this for 5 years, so I know most. If you say a company to me, I probably know it by this better than I know it by this. You know, because it's quicker to look for it. So let's say I want to see Tesla, right? TSLA. Boom, Tesla. Okay. What's another one? UNH, which is United Healthcare. Oh, look at all of the gaps that UNH had. Okay, so UNH, which is United Healthcare, had a massive sell-off back in 2025 when it went from $560 all the way down to $240. So it split in half, right? 1, 2 gaps, right? So then it consolidated here from June to that looks like August. It consolidated, hit, right? It gapped up here. And then when it started coming close to this resistant line here, let's draw it out. Dia. Gia. Okay. Once we saw that it was getting close to this line, then it closed the gap, right? You see that gap? It closed it over here. Okay. I tried to trade it when it was here and I lost money. And then I said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to trade it again until it gets above this line. And then I made money back. Okay. That's the most challenging part is waiting.
Yeah, I know that.
But let's say you wait 4 weeks and then you finally take the trading and you make 100%. Well, it's better than trying to take 100% or 10% every single day, you know, and is the hardest 10% you would ever make. Instead of just waiting until the opportunity comes, you know that once it breaks this level that it's an opportunity to make money. You waited, you took the risk when the risk presented itself, and then you made 100% without the battle of your mindset.
But then you also have to decide how long the contract.
Right. You're right. But let's say that this breakout, that's what it's called when it breaks above this, happens on a Tuesday. Well, you don't have, another thing is you don't have to hold the contract for the whole expiration time. Let's say you buy a week out contract, right? And the stock makes this type of move. That contract is probably going to make you 40, 50%, just an example, right? You don't have to wait a week to sell that contract. You could take your 40, 50% within that same day. Right. Well, it depends. If your contract expires, then you have to make sure that you can buy out the shares of that contract. Okay. So, UNH.
I'm sorry. You said about weight inside or weight outside.
What do you mean?
Doing something. You said the most hard part is wait.
Yeah, being patient.
Be patient.
Being patient for the move.
Inside, when your money inside, or be patient outside to do something.
No, you would be patient for the stock to do what you are waiting for it to do.
Okay, but you already bought something.
No. No, this is before you even buy it because the stock hasn't gone up above your price target.
I get.
When you buy, you hold. When you wait, you out.
No.
You said about the feelings.
You are out. When you buy and hold.
Right.
No, he said about patient.
Yeah, that's what when you're be patient when the stock hasn't done. Okay, so right now you set an alert. Right? You create an alert. Until that alert goes off, you're not going to buy it. You know? Because you're not going to want to trade any of this. Trying to trade this, you'll more than likely lose money. You want to wait for the opportunity to present itself. Okay?
So you don't buy when it's down, you buy when it's going up.
I buy when one of my levels breaks. Because I could buy it, for instance, let's do... All right, let's look here. This is perfect. This is the overspan of, this is back in 2022, all the way until 2025, okay? 3 years. Over the span of 3 years, you see how it bounced off this line every single time that it hit it? Over 3 years. 2025, I see that it's going below this line. That's old support that's held for 3 years. I know that this move is going to be much greater going down. And look, after it broke that support line at 426, it dropped all the way down to let's say 230. That's a $204 difference. That's when I would buy puts. Because puts is predicting that it's going to go down. Calls is when I predict that it's going to go up.
Aí você compra pelo preço que está ali. Quando descer mais, você botar o seu limite, querer vender, ele te paga a diferença. Entendeu? Do put. Aí você tem uma flag que você bota put. Aí ele vai pagar a diferença para lá. Se você bota com, ele paga a diferença para cima.
All right. So I only have one stock so far for my watch list, which I'm perfectly fine with that. But I'm gonna look at SPY very quickly. 743. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to hurry. So tomorrow I'm gonna watch this QQQ, which is the technology sector, right?
QQQ é uma empresa de
Technology.
conjunto de empresas de tecnologia.
Tem Google, tem Nvidia, tem Apple, tem Meta.
SpaceX, Não, seria...
No, only technology stocks. Only Microsoft. Okay. Those are different platforms. So make sure that you find the one that has NYSE, New York Stock Exchange. Oi.
Can I say what's going to happen to see if I understood?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have to wait now, and then if this candle goes, let's see, up, down, I have to buy a put. If it breaks this line, I have to wait one more day and then buy a put, right? Am I right?
You want to make sure that if it. So you remember when I said old resistance becomes new support, right? That's when we were buying. When we think that the price is going to go up, right? But what happens when the price goes down? Well, old support, you should write this down, old support becomes new resistance. No. I only spoke about calls.
No, you said that phrase. Yeah, me too.
Sim, the last one. Yeah. So let me explain that to you on this graph. Okay? When the price goes down below the old support, now this line becomes this line flipped. So it's gonna, so let's say it goes under here, right? Goes down, bounces, then it jumps up here, it tests the old support, right? Now it becomes new resistance and you get something like this. So you can do two trades here, okay? One, when it breaks this, right? That can be the same day. You could trade this the same day, right? Then you wait for it to bounce to retest this number. If it stays above it, then that's invalid. It's like a trap, okay? But if it tests it and goes down and drops, then you know already that it has to go lower than here. Okay? So let's look quickly on UNH because it did exactly that. Back here. Look. You see how here it's better right here. Okay. You see how here it dropped below? Then it bounced up and retested this number? And then it went all the way down. Eita glória! Né? But these are different patterns that you learn over time, understand, and that they repeat themselves. See? You stay patient. You don't have to trade the immediate move. Okay? You see that it goes down because you know that the market is always trying to take money from you. That's why when I said earlier yesterday that it's not about making money, it's about not losing money. It's playing defense. Okay? So if you say, oh man, I missed it breaking this number, that's fine. Just wait until it bounces up and retest this to confirm that it's going to go lower. And then once you see that confirmation, that's your entry point until it goes all the way back down. Yeah. And who knows where that goes? Because I mean, it kept going. This is April, let's say mid-April, and it went to May 25. So a whole month it was going down, you know? And it went all the way down to here. And then look. And then it created support and did the same thing. Now we close the gap, right? We close that gap. Now we're testing this upper level again. Look, it went all the way up here. Almost tested it exactly, right? Right here. But look, there's another gap. And that gap now is at 526? No, 550? Let's say 550, right?
Tem dizendo quando tu faz a linha, quantos meses pegou essa análise? Eu tô vendo, mas você não diz em algum canto que quando ele fez a... Não, né?
No.
É quase um ano então aí, né? Não, um ano.
Depois um ano para a gente virar. Para ter a marca antiga, porque ela é para a gente referência.
Entendi.
So,
Então, ela rompeu, o que vai me confirmar que ela vai continuar, ela fazer o retest.
test. E depois?
Esse é um padrão.
Eu conheço como 6 ou 4, 7. Diferente.
Mais 7? Tem só mais 7?
Huh?
Tem só 7 modelos?
No. I know about like 7 different patterns.
The gap is alert, right? See the gap is alert.
It's an alert. Oh, it like makes me look at the chart? Yeah.
So what?
It's an opportunity. I don't know that it'll happen,
Okay.
but I wait.
See the gap?
But I wait until it confirms that it's going to happen.
Okay.
You know?
Can you tell us which pattern do you know? Do you know the name?
I can, but depends on how much later you guys want to stay.
Just the name.
Oh, they aren't.
I think you have a picture of your pattern, right?
I think on my website. There's one that's very quickly that I know that Apple just did. It's the all-time high breakout. So another pattern is you see, oh look, there's another breakout / retest, right? So we had, this used to be all-time highs here, right? So it went above all-time highs, came down, retested it, and now it created new all-time highs. That's another pattern. Okay. I actually think I want to put Meta on my watch. Okay. So we'll look at Meta very quickly. I'm going to add this to my watch list. So you see Meta, how it had the gap here, closed it, came all the way back down, created another gap here, closed it, right? It had a gap, it already closed it. See the difference? Like this gap took from April to July, a month to close. And this one right here is a gap. You see it? And it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days to close. There's different time frames, but that one pattern, it's pretty repeatable. You know, it's once you can master being patient, this pattern is Espírito Santo, né? Ele e paciência. Right? One thing that helps me is praying before the market even opens. Asking for the Lord's wisdom, spirit of wisdom, right? Yeah. But he's opening the door for you, right? He's giving you the wood. He's giving you the pieces of wood for you to construct the furniture, right? So, any questions before we wrap up? Because cada semana vamos estar juntos, né?
Esse aqui já
O quê?
Como é que é?
Vamos abrir a conta, botar o dinheiro e. A coisa é fácil.
Muito fácil.
Mas ele já vai começar
Depende, né?
Eu sugiro todos nós pagarmos a mentoria do Ariel.
Calma.
É baratinho, gente. Eu já vi.
Calma aí. Vou fazer a propaganda.
Sorry.
So the one platform that I showed you was Thinkorswim. No, not Thinkorswim. TradingView, right? Which is probably the one that you have open. I use that only to make my watch list. Once I have my watch list, because there's more things on there that I can do. For instance, like there's different indicators. Here, I'll just show you real quick. There's different indicators that help me personally come up with next support and resistance lines, like this one right here. You see this? This whole thing right here? That's an indicator. Take that away. I'll take this away. This is for more advanced, right? I take that away. So now, let's say I have this. I bring it here, do Fibonacci retracement. I bring it here. Now, I see where I have my support lines, my resistance lines. For instance, this indicator tells me a demand zone, meaning when the stock comes into here, then people are buying it. When it exits this zone in the red, then that means it's going to go up. So look, it was tested here. People started buying it. When it came out of this demand zone, it shot up from $575 all the way to $694. Okay? So I create this graph to show me, okay, when it exits here, my minimum price target is the next line, which is at 606. That already is a $31 difference. So when I'm making my watch list, I'm already indicating these zones already for you because I'm doing that for you. It's part of the investment that you're making, right? For this chart that I used, I'm going to go back and I'm going to create this for that, which I'll do it right now, live. But my prices remain the same. Why? Okay. So now I know that this stock is in the demand zone. When it leaves the demand zone at 237.55, so only $7 difference from where the top is here, the resistance is, then I know that my next minimum price target is old resistance, which is one right here, or 255, which is only a $5 difference. These are different tools that you can use within the graphs for more advanced learners, right? But as far as your question goes, these are tools within TradingView that you can use. And why I use TradingView is because it provides this information for me easier to view it easier, right? So when the market's open, I use Thinkorswim and E-Trade and Robinhood. I use all three.
So you set the alerts on the platforms that you're using?
Yeah.
Okay,
So all my alerts, this is for my watch list.
you're on the radio.
Right. Because I like how it looks.
Like a scratch sheet of paper.
Right. Exactly. You know? And I keep this open because at home I have 3-4 different screens that I'm looking at. You know? I keep this one open at all times because my lines and my my price targets and all that stuff is already labeled out for me. I do all of this, like I just showed you, right? And I keep it open on different tabs, and then I just flip through the tabs. And then when I want to actually take the trade, I go on the platform where I want to take the trade, take it, while watching this and watching the other platform, you know? But I'm already prepared. One of my favorite quotes that I use is, when preparation meets opportunity, you take advantage. When your preparation before the market even opens meets opportunity when the market opens, you take advantage and you make money. Okay? When preparation meets the opportunity, you take advantage and you make money. So this was on a Sunday. This is Monday. And then that was the result for this person in one day. Okay?
We can set all our chain trade view, right?
Yeah.
I think it's only this one.
You would have to connect it to a different platform. It's not a brokerage. Yeah. Any other questions?
E aí, Marcelo? Fala, Marcelo.
Hi.
Calma, mano. Private. E aí?
Qual o próximo passo?
Marcelo tá perguntando qual o
Próxima classe.
Próxima aula, qual o próximo passo?
Ah, eu vou.
Vai entrar na piscina agora. Ninguém aprendeu na piscina.
Bom, eu vou pegar.
Calma, peraí. Fala aí, Rafael.
Vamos lá. Se vocês quiserem que a gente marque uma outra aula na disponibilidade dele, que é uma pessoa muito ocupada, a gente pode tentar fazer alguma coisa, mas aprofundar um pouco mais. Mas eu acho assim que ninguém aqui é menino, todo mundo já sabe o que quer. Eu acho que não seria difícil iniciarmos uma trajetória com uma mentoria, né? Então, acho que se vocês puderem abrir a conta de vocês, fazer um paper trade para vocês começarem a poder fazer sem envolver o dinheiro de vocês, debaixo de uma mentoria para vocês aprenderem como trabalhar no mercado financeiro, é o que eu recomendaria. E depois de um mês, 2 meses, quando vocês tiverem segurança, vocês se preparam, vocês falar com $200, $500 de trabalho, começa por aí. Para vocês não terem um impacto se acontecer alguma coisa que sair fora da mão de vocês poderem se alinhar, voltar para o paper trade, até você tem que ter certeza que exatamente isso uma coisa que vocês vão querer engajar tempo, porque vai exigir tempo de vocês no início. Né? E uma mentoria é com ele, entendeu? Eu sou só o cara que conecta as pessoas com as pessoas. Né? E a gente quer até agradecer o Ariel pelo tempo dele, pela disponibilidade dele, né? Poder se fazer tão útil, né? Para poder estar ajudando. Entendeu? Eu não sei se você percebeu, mas